When did you realize your parents were failing you? When I discovered they'd been charging me rent since I was 7 years old. I found the ledger by accident while looking for batteries in Mom's desk drawer. There it was, in her neat handwriting. Tommy's room and board, $847 per month. Balance owed, $73,426. $73,000. I was 13 years old. Every birthday, every Christmas, every tooth fairy dollar, every lawn mowing payment from neighbors. They've been keeping track and deducting my living expenses. When I got $20 from Grandma for my birthday, they'd take it and write $20 credited to account in their little book. We're teaching you financial responsibility, Mom always said when she collected my allowance money. In the real world, nothing is free. I thought every family did this. I thought all kids owed their parents money for existing. The ledger had everything itemized. Food, $200 per month. Utilities, $150. Bedroom rental, $400. Parental services, $97. I didn't even know what parental services meant, but apparently showing up to my soccer games cost me $12 each time. They'd been charging me for doctor visits since I was 8. Every time I got sick, it wasn't just the copay. They billed me for the inconvenience of taking time off work to drive me there. Strep throat cost me $45 in lost wages. When I broke my arm falling off my bike, they charged me $200 for emergency transportation and emotional distress. The worst part? They had a payment plan set up for when I turned 18. Minimum monthly payments of $800 until the debt was cleared. They'd already calculated the interest. I confronted them that night at dinner, sliding the ledger across the table like evidence in a courtroom. What is this? Dad didn't even look guilty. Your financial education. You think raising kids is free? We're preparing you for adulthood. But I didn't choose to be born, I said, my voice cracking. How can you charge me for something I never asked for? Life lesson number 1, Mom replied while baking cookies. Nobody asked to be here, but we all have bills to pay. They showed me their business plan. After I turned 18, I'd pay them back while living at home until 25. They'd calculated that with a minimum wage job, it would take me exactly 7 years and 3 months to clear my childhood debt. They had spreadsheets. Other parents just give their kids money, Dad said. We're teaching you the value of $1. You'll thank us when you're financially responsible as an adult. I started calling it the childhood mortgage. Every meal felt like I was being charged for it. Every hug felt like a transaction. When they said I love you, I wondered if that would show up on next month's statement. The breaking point came when I needed emergency dental work after a baseball hit my face. They handed me the bill, $1,200 for the dental work, plus $300 for their crisis management fee, and $50 for trauma counseling, because apparently seeing me bleeding stressed them out. I was 14 years old, staring at a bill for my own broken teeth. That's when I called my Uncle Mike. He drove over within an hour, took one look at their ledger system, and lost his mind. You're charging a child for being your child, he screamed at them. What kind of psychotic accounting is this? We're teaching financial literacy, Mom defended. He needs to understand that resources aren't unlimited. Uncle Mike called CPS that night. The social worker who came couldn't believe it either. She'd seen neglect, abuse, drug problems, but never parents running their house like a hostile landlord, charging a kid for breathing their air. This is financial abuse, she told them. Children don't owe their parents money for basic care. That's called being a parent. My parents were genuinely confused. They thought they were being innovative, teaching real-world skills. They'd read some article about preparing kids for financial reality and taken it to a psychotic extreme. I live with Uncle Mike now. When I told him I felt guilty about him spending money on me, he sat me down and said something I'll never forget. Tommy, taking care of you isn't a business transaction. You're not a tenant. You're my nephew, and loving you is free. Last week, my parents sent me a letter. They wanted to forgive my childhood debt as an 18th birthday present. I sent it back with a note. You can't forgive a debt that should never have existed. They still don't understand that being a parent isn't supposed to be profitable.